Hi everyone! In this video, we'll be designing an open cabinet using Autodesk Fusion 360. This tutorial is perfect for beginners and will cover a variety of commands and concepts. I hope you enjoy and find it helpful. Open Autodesk Fusion, then click on the top left corner and select New Design. Then press Ctrl+S, enter a project name to save the file. Here the name of this project is Open Cabinet Demo and click Save. On the left side, you can see the project name you entered, Open Cabinet Demo. By default, the origin plane is turned off. To enable it, click the eye icon next to Origin to turn it on. You will now be able to see the origin plane. To set up the units, hover over Document Settings on the left side of the window and click the small arrow. By default, the units are in M. To change this, click the Edit icon, which will open a new pop-up window. Here, you can change the units by selecting from the drop-down menu. If you want inches as the default unit, check the default box, or simply leave it unchecked. Now we'll set up the parameters for the cabinet. Go to Modify, and click the drop-down arrow. Hover over Change Parameters and click it. A new pop-up window will open. Click the plus icon, and a small pop-up window will appear. Enter ply_thickness as the name for the first parameter, and in the expression field, enter the thickness value of 0.725. Then, click OK. Repeat the previous step to add all the parameters like width, depth, height, etc. I'm entering all the necessary parameters for this project, so if I need to adjust the ply thickness, cabinet width, or height, you can easily update them using these parameters without redoing the entire project. This is a very useful, important, and powerful feature of the project. Once you've finished entering the parameters, press OK. Let's start modeling the cabinet by drawing the sectional sketch. First, click the Create Sketch icon in the top menu bar, then select the vertical plane. Now, click the two-point rectangle icon in the top menu. Place the first point at the origin and the second point somewhere to the right in the window. Don't worry about the size for now. To set the size, go to Create, click the drop-down arrow, hover over Sketch Dimension, and click it. Click the bottom line of the rectangle, drag your mouse downward, and enter the depth value. You can see the depth as 14 inches. Click that value, which you entered in the parameters initially. Now the bottom of your rectangle will adjust to 14 inches. Repeat the same step. Click the left side of the rectangle's line, drag the mouse to the left, and click on the window. Enter the height value, and you'll see the height parameter you entered initially. Click that value to adjust the vertical line to the cabinet's height. Now that we have successfully defined the cabinet's height and depth, let's move on to the next step. Next, press the two-point rectangle icon and sketch rectangles for the top panel, shelf, bottom panel, back panel, and front kick. Don't worry about the size. Just draw the rectangles arbitrarily. Once you've completed the sketch, press Escape. Press the Sketch Dimension command from the Create drop-down, or use the shortcut key D. To define the thickness of the top panel, click the top edge of the rectangle and bottom edge, move the cursor to the left, and click on the window. Type ply, and the parameter for ply_thickness will appear. Click that. Similarly, repeat the process to define the thickness for the shelf, bottom panel, and back panel, as well as the kick height and shelf height from the bottom. Once you have completed the process, press Finish Sketch. After clicking Finish Sketch, you'll see the Sketch 1 icon appear on the left side. If you need to make changes, you can double-click it to edit, then click Finish Sketch in the top right when you're done. We have now successfully created a sectional sketch of the cabinet. Let's move on to the next step. Let's begin by extruding the section. To do this, go to the Solid menu, click on the drop-down arrow to find the Extrude command, or simply press the shortcut key. This will open a new pop-up window. Ensure that Extrude is selected under the type. Set the Extend type to Distance and choose Operation as New Bodies. Next, select the faces you want to extrude, drag the arrow, and enter the desired width. The parameter value will appear. Click on it to confirm. Activate the sketch by clicking the eye icon. To repeat the command, right-click and drag up with the mouse. Then, follow the same process to extrude the left side panel. We have successfully created the top and left side panels. Let's move on to the next step to create the remaining parts of the cabinet. To create the right side panel, we'll use the mirror tool. First, we'll need to create a midplane to assist with the mirroring process. To create a midplane, hover over the construct icon in the top menu bar, click the drop-down arrow, and scroll down to select midplane. A new pop-up window will appear. Now, select the right and left vertical faces of the top panel and click OK. You should see the midplane appear in the window. If you look at the left side of the window, hover your mouse over the construction option and click the down arrow. You should see the plane we created. If you'd like, you can rename it. I'm going to rename it as midplane. Clicking the eye icon will toggle it on and off. To create the right side panel using the mirror command, go to the Create icon in the top menu, click the drop-down arrow, and scroll down to select Mirror. This will open a new window. In the pop-up window, ensure Body is selected under Type. Then, select the left side panel and the midplane. Make sure New Body is chosen for the operation and click OK. We have now successfully created the right side panel using the mirror command. On the left side of the window, click the drop-down arrow next to the Body section. You'll see Body 1, Body 2, and Body 3, which we created. I'll rename them to Top, Left, and Bottom according to the model. Let's move on to creating the shelf, bottom panel, and kick. Before we do that, notice that our section sketch is positioned outside the left panel. To make it easier to use the Extrude command, let's include the section sketch onto the inside of the left panel. To do this, select the inside face and click Create Sketch in the top menu. Now, turn off the top and right panels by clicking their respective eye icons. This will make only the left panel visible. Next, go to the Create menu in the top menu bar, click the drop-down arrow, scroll down to the Project/Include command, and select Project, or use the shortcut key P. A new pop-up window will appear. Now, select the lines in the sketch that you want to project. Ensure that Specified Entities is selected in the selection filter, and then click OK. I forgot to select the kick panel lines. To include them, repeat the previous steps to project those lines onto the inside of the left panel. We have now successfully projected the section sketch onto the inside of the left panel. To extrude the back panel, go to the Create menu in the top menu bar, click the drop-down arrow, scroll down to Extrude, or press the shortcut key. A new pop-up window will appear. Now, select the face for the back panel. In the pop-up window, ensure that Extrude is selected under Type and New Body is chosen for operation. Set the Extend type to Object, then select the inside face of the right side panel in the window. Click OK to proceed. Now, you can see that we have successfully created the back panel. Repeat the previous steps to extrude the parts for the shelf, bottom panel, and kick. Once you're finished, rename the bodies according to the model. Press Ctrl plus S and hit Enter to save the file. To add some material, switch to the Render workspace. To do this, left-click on the Workspace drop-down menu and select Render. Your workspace has now changed to Render. Right-click again, select Appearance, and a new pop-up window will open for you to choose the material. Choose the material you prefer and drag it onto each panel to apply it. Repeat this process for all the panels in the model. Now you can see that we have successfully applied the material to the model. To return to the Design workspace, click the small down arrow below the render icon in the top left corner and select Design. You'll be back in the Design workspace. Press Ctrl plus S to save the file. Let's add joints for the kick to connect to the side panel. To do this, hide all the other panels except for the kick. Select the front face. Click Create Sketch in the top menu bar, choose the 2-point rectangle tool, and draw the rectangle. Don't worry about the dimensions for now, we'll adjust them in the next step. Let's add dimensions to the sketch. Press D, click on the top edge of the kick and the top edge of the joint piece, then type kick/3 and press Enter. Repeat the process to set the joint piece height as kick/3 and the joint piece width as ply_thickness. Similarly, set the dimensions for the top piece joint with a width of tab and a height of ply_thickness. Let's create a construction line. Press L, select the midpoint of the top piece, and click the bottom point. Then, right-click on the line and choose Normal/Construction. The line will change to a dashed format. Now, press D, click on the origin and the top of the construction line, and set the distance to width/3. This will position the joint piece correctly from the origin by width/3. Repeat a similar process by drawing a construction line from the midpoint of the left side joint piece. Set the distance from the top edge of the kick to the midpoint of the joint piece to kick/3. Then extrude both rectangles by ply_thickness. We have now successfully extruded the joint piece. Let's mirror these joints to the other half of the kick. Use the Mirror command, select the face you want to mirror, choose the midplane, and click OK. We have now successfully mirrored the joint and created the joint for the kick. Unhide the other parts now. Let's create joints for the bottom panel. Start by creating a sketch on the face of the panel, then use the 2-point rectangle tool to draw the rectangles. Use the D command to set the dimensions, and follow the same procedure we used for the kick. Next, extrude the rectangle as a new body. Finally, use the Mirror command to select the joint piece and mirror it to the right half by choosing the midplane. Let's create a joint piece for the shelf using mirroring. First, create a midplane by selecting the top of the bottom panel and the bottom of the shelf with the midplane command. Then, select the joint piece on the bottom plane, choose the midplane between the bottom panel and the shelf, and press OK. Now, combine the joint piece with the panel. To do this, go to the Modify icon in the top menu, click the drop-down arrow, and select Combine. Choose the body and the joint piece, then press OK. Repeat the same process for the shelf panel. Repeat the same procedure to create joints for the back panel and side panel. Since we have already covered the steps for drawing rectangles, extruding, mirroring, and combining, I will fast forward the video. Let's extrude the edges of both side panels and the top edge by 0.5 inches using the extrude command. Let's create a cut in the bottom panel for the kick panel insertion. To do this, go to the Modify menu in the top bar, click the drop-down arrow, scroll down to the Combine command, and press Enter. A new window will appear. Ensure that Cut is selected under Operation and check the Keep Tools box. Now, select the target body, which is the bottom panel, and the kick panel, then hit OK. We have successfully made the cut. To view it, simply hide all the panels except the bottom panel. Now you can see that 2 cuts have been made on the bottom panel. Repeat the same process to make all the necessary cuts for the cabinet. Since it's a simple procedure, I'll fast forward the video. Once you've completed all the cuts, press Ctrl+S to save the project. We've now reached the end of the video. This basic cabinet project has introduced you to various tools and commands. With practice, you'll become more familiar with them. There are a few more steps to cover, such as assigning cut operations to machines, which we'll explore in the upcoming videos. If you found this video useful, please leave your comments below and share it with your friends and networks. Thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe.